Well, y'all, Nicki Minaj is back on X, and she's coming for Jay-Z. So in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her $100 to $200 million so far.
It all started with a shocking confession. No one saw it coming. The kind of truth that shakes the foundation of power in hip-hop. When Nicki Minaj opened up about Jay-Z, she wasn't just talking about a deal gone wrong or some studio disagreement. She hinted at something far more personal, claiming that years ago, Jay tried to cross a line and turn a friendship into something more. But when she rejected him, everything changed. Nicki says that's when her world quietly began to fall apart. Slowly, strategically, and off-camera, a silent war started. Not the kind fought in interviews or on social media, but the kind that happens behind closed doors in boardrooms and industry whispers. We've seen public beefs before, but this one isn't just about music. It cuts deep into power, control, and what really happens when the spotlight turns off.
Like blogs and online platforms don't touch what she's saying, and they don't cover all of her words fully because it's Jay-Z and Roc Nation.
Well, I'll tell you this, I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X, and I guarantee you if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
The timeline makes this hard to ignore. In early 2021, Jay-Z sold Tidal for more than $300 million. Back in 2015, Nicki was one of the artists promised equity, about 3%, giving her real ownership. But when the payout came, she says she didn't receive anything. Nicki even said she promoted Tidal harder than anyone except Beyonce. Industry insiders later confirmed that some founding artists walked away with millions, yet Nicki's name was missing from the list. At first, it looked like just another celebrity grievance, until things escalated fast. By March 2024, Nicki and her husband, Kenneth Petty, were hit with a $500,000 default judgment after a German security guard claimed Petty attacked him backstage. Then, that same legal team moved to seize Nicki's $20 million Hidden Hills mansion. By September, the LA Sheriff's Office confirmed it had been placed under levy. The strange part? All of this happened just weeks after Nicki publicly called out Jay-Z over the Tidal equity. Suddenly, she was facing lawsuits, bad press, and negative headlines pushed by outlets tied to Roc Nation. Coincidence? Or a reminder of who still pulls strings at the top?
Apparently, Nicki Minaj has dragged Jay-Z to Philly. She blasts him for being evil and spiteful.
Nicki seemed to think it wasn't a coincidence. On October 15th, 2025, she made a shocking announcement that her album was canceled, tagging Jay-Z directly with the message, "Hope you're happy now." The post exploded instantly. Within hours, her Instagram vanished. When it returned days later, she posted an AI-edited image of Jay-Z wearing a bright pink wig with the caption, "I am your karma." Fans split in two. Some called it a breakdown. Others called it rebellion. But people who understood Nicki's history saw something else, a warning. She looked ready to burn the entire system down rather than let it destroy her again. The industry didn't stay quiet. Charlemagne Tha God, a known Jay-Z ally, went on The Breakfast Club and named her Donkey of the Day, saying, "Your energy is just nasty," accusing her of acting out of ego and insecurity. But the timing was too perfect. That segment aired only 48 hours after Nicki accused Jay-Z's camp of blocking her radio interviews. Former insiders later claimed that the segment had to be cleared at the top level of iHeartMedia by an executive who still has direct ties to Roc Nation. This wasn't just a reaction. It looked like a coordinated strike.
Y'all really do not understand who I really am. Bring it, let's play. Y'all wanted attention, let's do it. Then she starts talking to the LAPD about something we have nothing to do with. And she's saying to Republic Records that they need to stand up for her any day now. Then she says, "You'll regret it." Now, I've been going down the rabbit hole.
Here? Why did this happen?
Then everything turned frightening. Nicki's home was hit with 4 separate swatting incidents, one after another. Each time, armed officers stormed her house while her young child was inside. LAPD confirmed every call but claimed to have no leads on who was behind them. Nicki didn't believe that for a second. She went public, demanding answers and calling the attacks exactly what they felt like: intimidation. She tagged Republic Records along with people tied to Jay-Z's circle, saying she had proof these weren't random incidents but coordinated efforts meant to scare her into silence. No one from Roc Nation responded. But just like that, the raid stopped. The message was already delivered. Whoever was behind it wanted her to understand one thing: she could be reached, even in her own home.
Nicki Minaj, she went on another Twitter rant. She Still got Jay-Z and Rock Nation in every tweet. You wildin' on them. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen nobody come at Jay-Z this hard.
When you look at everything together, it doesn't seem random at all. It looks deliberate. First came the financial moves, the missing title payout, the lawsuits piling up, the sudden headlines about debt and judgments. Then came the public humiliation, Charlamagne's takedown, Stephen A. Smith calling her ungrateful, the media repeating the same angle like they were reading from one script. After that came the psychological pressure, her social accounts disappearing, the AI mockery, police showing up at her home in the middle of the night. Any one of these incidents could be chalked up to bad timing, but all of them together form a pattern. Even a former label executive once said that when a woman in this business refuses the wrong man, they don't just cancel her, they erase her.
Over and people, you know what I'm saying?
Kendrick Lamar is the hottest out right
He is,
now.
though. Kendrick hot.
They're going to make their money.
What made everything feel even darker was how quickly the industry seemed to align. Just hours after Nicki's public outburst, Gucci Mane's wife, Keishia Cole, appeared on The Breakfast Club, praising Gucci's growth and mental well-being. Nicki fired back, accusing her of helping keep Gucci suppressed. It sounded extreme until she mentioned Charlamagne again, calling him a close ally of Jay-Z and accusing iHeartRadio of being used for targeted attacks. Suddenly, it didn't feel random anymore. Same platform, same voices, same timing. Whether someone believes Nicki or not, the pattern is difficult to ignore. And through all of this, Jay-Z said nothing. No statement from Roc Nation. No denial, no acknowledgement. Instead, other people spoke for him. Reporters labeled her unstable. Commentators said she was self-destructive. The story was shaped without him ever having to speak. When Nicki accused Jay-Z of blocking Lil Wayne from performing at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, saying his ego was punishing greatness, she was mocked for it. But beneath the anger was loyalty. Wayne was the one who discovered her. He gave her her first real chance. Watching him get pushed aside in his own city cut deeply. To Nicki, it looked like more of the same quiet retaliation she had been warning everyone about. By late October, everything was boiling over. Her mansion was still under threat of forced sale. Court filings kept stacking up. She was preparing to relaunch her billionaire Barbie brand. And right then, almost on cue, old stories about her husband's past were pushed back into headlines. No new developments. No new charges. Just the same story reprinted with new dates. Media analysts later called it a refresh cycle, a tactic used to bury new news under old controversy. At the top of that cycle were familiar outlets with long-standing ties to Roc Nation's media network. Coincidence or cleanup in progress.
So tell me about your relationship with Beyonce, because she's on a track here.
You know, everybody asks me that.
Everything circles back to one unsettling question. If Nicki's claims are true, and rejecting Jay-Z sparked a quiet personal war, then what else has been hidden behind hip-hop's most powerful image? Nicki has suggested that lawyers, media insiders, and even law enforcement have been involved in protecting more than just a business brand. There may not be official proof yet, but the timing, the consistency, and the silence speak loudly on their own. Because if Jay-Z truly has the power to use legal teams, media networks, and industry alliances to suppress someone who said no, then who else has been silenced? And who could be next? But beneath that question lies something even more dangerous. Nicki implied that Beyonce might also be tied into the system that protects Jay-Z's empire. That $500,000 judgment didn't just hurt financially. It landed like a warning shot. Right when Nicki was rebuilding her independence, a man named Thomas Bodenmiller resurfaced, demanding damages from a 2019 security incident overseas. What shocked people wasn't the case itself, but how fast it progressed. The moment Nicki started naming Jay-Z directly, the legal pressure accelerated. Within months, her $20 million Hidden Hills home was under levy. To casual fans, it looked like celebrity drama, but to those watching closely, it looked like pressure. A message sent through paperwork instead of words. A reminder of who still holds the power, who gets to stay protected, and who pays the price for speaking out.
I hope it's worth losing everything, including your account, because Nicki Minaj has been on X saying that the blogs and online creators don't cover her and Jay-Z's back and forth the same way as they do everything else.
Well, it's not a back and forth.
It's definitely not a back and forth. I was about to, it's just been a forth.
That same pattern leads back to Tidal, the streaming company Jay-Z sold in 2021 for around $300 million. Nicki has said for years that her equity, worth somewhere between 100 million and 200 million, simply disappeared. On paper, every founding artist was supposed to receive shares and payouts. Yet insiders say her name was removed from the final deal. Was it business? Or retaliation? The silence surrounding the situation has been absolute. And when Nicki brought it up again this year, her legal troubles surged again almost immediately. To anyone paying attention, it didn't look like coincidence. It looked like a calculated move. Financial pressure disguised as misfortune. A quiet reminder of what happens when someone challenges one of the most powerful networks in music.
Yeah, so
What that got to do with Sister Minaj?
because there's a lot of fans online having a conversation right now following our interview if whether or not Kenneth, who's Nicki Minaj's husband, should be doing the same for Nicki Minaj because
Absolutely.
she's online and there's a lot of things that she's saying and
But that
different things that
wasn't
are
the reason
happening.
she shot at Charlamagne, was it?
No, forget
No.
me. Why did she come at Keisha? I don't understand. Like, what did anything Keisha have to say?
Behind the polished walls of Rock Nation, one name keeps coming up: Desiree Perez. The same CEO once pardoned by a former president is now rumored to be the quiet force steering the machine. Sources close to label negotiations have claimed Perez was the one whispering to major platforms, urging them to minimize risks around Nicki, essentially freezing her out of collaborations and public appearances. Even Republic Records, her own label, was reportedly split down the middle, half supporting Nicki and half bowing to Rock Nation's influence. Insiders say that the moment Nicki made her concerns public about the missing title money, internal audits started popping up. And around that same time, those disturbing swatting calls began. Armed police showing up at her home 4 separate times. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. But the pattern is unsettling. And the pressure didn't stop there. Suddenly, private messages between Nicki's team and industry insiders started leaking to blogs known for Rock Nation exclusives. Some made her look unstable. Others claimed she owed advance money. None of it verified, but it was enough to stain her name. One former road manager told us plainly, "It's not about truth, it's about exhaustion." And that's exactly how it looked. With each new headline and every emotional moment online, the situation felt engineered to drain her until she couldn't fight back anymore.
She is, I mean, just her name alone just defines greatness, right? You know, it's like just her.
Through all the chaos, one name stayed spotless: Beyonce. When Nicki dropped that cryptic line, "Buy new," the internet went into a frenzy. If Jay-Z allegedly made a move on Nicki years ago, people naturally wondered, what did Beyonce know and when? Her silence has been loud. Publicly, she appears calm and untouchable. But insiders say her team has been working non-stop, calling radio stations, producers, stylists, making sure no one brings the topic up. One insider said clearly, "They can't let this look like betrayal inside music's royal family." Because if Nicki's claims carry any truth, Beyonce's silence isn't about grace. It's about survival. The stakes go far beyond rumors. For years, Jay-Z and Beyonce have maintained an image of the ultimate power couple who turned fame into an empire. But if this image cracks, it threatens everything they've built. Whispers in studio circles claim NDAs have gone out, preventing Rock Nation insiders from saying a word about disputes involving female artists. Lawyers are combing old contracts, tightening loyalty clauses. Nobody wants to be the next name leaked. And it's starting to feel less like PR management and more like a full-scale containment plan.
I feel like I am like absorbing advice from her and like learning from her and stuff. And she'll tell me like, learn from my mistake. Like
Nicki has been using social media like her final shield. After posting that eerie AI image of Jay-Z in a pink wig with the caption, "I am your karma," she didn't stop. She went into a full posting streak, calling out music gatekeepers for blocking her from interviews and festivals, daring her label to defend her, and even hinting that she's holding receipts for court. She warned, "The same business managers who stole from me are still working for them." No one knows if these claims will ever reach a courtroom, but what's clear is that Nicki is no longer just an artist in a feud. She has become a symbol of resistance. The insider who refused to obey unspoken industry rules. And behind the scenes, fear is spreading. Smaller artists are whispering about sudden canceled shows. Podcasters who speak positively about Nicki say advertisers start calling, reminding them which names to avoid. Meanwhile, word is Beyonce's team has a running list of media outlets to monitor, tracking where certain stories originate. That level of coordination doesn't happen for nothing. It happens when an empire feels the ground shifting under it. The more Nicki speaks, the louder the silence around her grows. And that's the chilling part. Every emotional post, every rant, every photo gets treated like entertainment. But look closely and there's a pattern. Each time she erupts, a wave of negative headlines follows. Then another lawsuit, another cancellation, another narrative hit to her name. It's almost like the system is waiting for her to crack so it can say, see, she's unstable. But what if this isn't a breakdown? What if it's the visible scar left by years of pressure, isolation, and manipulation playing out in real time?
The National Football League announced that West Coast rapper Kendrick Lamar will headline the Super Bowl 59 halftime show in New Orleans.
Inside the industry, the whispers are getting louder. People are saying Nicki's so-called volatility is being used as a weapon. Executives who once chased her now hide behind contract clauses, labeling her unpredictable. Insurance companies call her a risk. Publicists who used to defend her quietly pull away. This madness narrative has become the perfect excuse to dismiss her, to twist real pain into hysteria, to erase the weight of her claims. It's the same old tactic. Take a powerful woman's exhaustion and use it as proof she's the problem. And the cruel twist? The harder she fights back, the easier it becomes to label her unstable. If even part of what she's saying is real, this isn't just one artist losing control. It's about an industry that rules through fear. The gossip, the headlines, the memes, they're a soft form of censorship. Punishment for anyone who refuses to stay quiet. And here's the scariest part. If Nicki Minaj can be pushed this far, with her fame, her fan base, her influence, what happens to artists without that protection? Strip away the glamour and what's left is a story about control. Nicki isn't just fighting for her name, her home, or her money. She's fighting for the right to exist outside a system built to own her. And if her claims are true, we may be watching one of the most calculated acts of retaliation the music world has ever seen. A machine built to crush resistance and erase the evidence after. And that raises a question almost nobody wants to ask. If it can happen to Nicki Minaj, what chance does anyone else have? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, share, and subscribe. This story is far from over. See you in the next one.